Hello, everybody. This is Anti-Natalist, and I'm going over this article that I read the other day, and I just want to give some comparisons to antinatalism, and this is just one of many reasons why you should never have a child. I'm going to go over her suffering and then, talk about her death. Siena Bott graduated from North Allegheny High School in 2017, headed to Allegheny College, and celebrated graduation day with her family. She lost her battle with addiction as a result of a fentanyl overdose in 2020. Her mother created Stop the Judgment Project that encourages an open dialogue about drug addiction and the dangers of drug abuse. And I really wish her mom had seen even deeper into the problem. And the problem is creation. Problem is creating another human being. I'm just going to go over some highlighted areas here. Sherry Jo Matt lost her 21-year-old daughter, Siena Bott, to a fentanyl overdose in 2020. Matt says there's no better time than now to face the issue of substance abuse. The NA Citizens Advisory Board will feature a panel of local experts to talk about drugs, alcohol, and addiction, and is geared toward parents and caregivers. And there she is. Those struggling with addiction may not recognize the effects of their behavior or are unwilling to seek treatment. As substance abuse statistics rise on a national level, we'll only see the number of issues rise inside the district unless we are able to educate and prevent students from going down a harmful path. Well, education is not going to do any good because it's almost seen as alarming. When I was 19, I guess, 19, 20, I tried many things, many things. And unfortunately, none of them really clicked with me. In fact, I was disappointed. And I would say I tried a number of, substances. I'm really glad that they didn't click well with me because, I probably could have been addicted. And I really think that you have to inherit the addictive gene. And fortunately, I did not inherit that gene. And another thing is mental illness, which I'm going to talk about in the rest of this article. So during this presentation, parents will learn when and how to talk to children about drugs and alcohol, substance abuse trends, and ways to deal with kids having drug, alcohol, and tobacco issues. You can get things over the counter and take a number of these items, and you can put yourself in a trance, a high, if you will. Siena was a 2017 NA graduate with a full ride to Allegheny College. But she had been struggling with addiction for years, most likely beginning with her trying to cope with mental health issues as a young teenager. They did what they could do to save her, but had no real answers, few resources, and faced a stigma that prevents society from talking about addiction openly. Well, that's the key answer right there. There are few resources and no real answers. There's no answers for life. If you inherit a physical or mental condition, there's hardly anything you can do about it. And, even people with like severe allergies, and some of them take shots, some of them take pills, some of them take inhalers. And they will tell you that when it gets really bad, they have to take steroids because the medication just doesn't work. And obviously, going through the mental health system, she, found herself lost and unable to find a cure or a treatment or a solution for her pain. Okay, nobody should feel so much pain, said the mom. It can happen to anyone. You know what? So that is her quote. Nobody should feel so much pain. Well, life is painful, with or without addiction. So the real problem is having children of your own, and the most significant problem thereafter is the stigma of talking about it and addressing antinatalism as the cure for all pains. It cures everybody's painful life and every potential person's painful life. Matt is the founder of Stop the Judgment Project. The way people think about addiction and the stigma. Addiction is a mental health issue. As a parent, you don't want to be judged, and for sure don't want your child to be judged. Well, that's not practical. That's not logical. As a parent, you are judged, and you are judged for passing on your genes, and whether your child has a problem through nature or nurture, you are to blame. So it says NA being so highly competitive adds another level of student stress. Well, I think, every school is, has challenges, and, certain people feel compelled to bring home, straight A's, or they don't want to fail. Some people, have higher standards than others. Substance abuse is everywhere. With mental health issues on the rise, so is the desire to self-medicate. Drugs are readily accessible to anybody. I know somebody is probably reading this right now, and as soon as he turns 21, went out to the bars, and also started smoking weed. And although he didn't have to be 21 to smoke weed, I think it was a way to self-medicate and to calm. Hey, shh, Juliet. It was a way to calm him and comfort him and sedate him. So hey, fellow, if you're watching this, I know it's true, because every time we've spoken recently, you've been smoking. So, teens that can't wait to be 21 or even 18 to start, to start doing drugs and whatever, smoking cigarettes. I think you have to be 21 to buy cigarettes. I'm not sure. That's another thing I'm really glad I did not get addicted to. I tried smoke. Everybody tries smoking, don't they? Everybody by 20 kind of, tries it. But, I really hate cigarettes, hate tobacco. I don't like, addictions. I kind of like natural highs myself. One of my natural highs lately is heated blanket. And that's just one of the best things, is to put on your heated blanket and get under those covers and prepare to sleep for 10 hours. But not everybody has that option. And, some people are so tormented by mental health issues, and they just can't shake the bad feelings or the thoughts or the intrusive voices or the depression or the mania, whatever. I've heard people describe some really, really severe mental illness, and it sounds very torturous. So I can certainly empathize with anybody who, attempts to calm their brain activity with a drug, an alcoholic beverage, anything illegal, any substance. So she just wants parents to get the information they need to know, and that they are not alone. And addiction isn't something somebody can just turn off or control. So that's her, the website she created, stopthejudgment.org. And, but you know what? We do need to judge parents when it comes to reproduction, because they are harming their children. And you cannot predict the life that your son or daughter is going to have. And I'm sure, reliving this picture and seeing her at, it looks like a graduation or pre-graduation with the bleachers in the background, they had no idea that, their daughter would be so consumed with drugs. But, drugs numb the brain, and they calm, and they relieve anxiety. And so, I guess the drugs that are created for mental illness are just not working as good as street drugs and illicit drugs. And the mental health care system is broken, and the people in that system are broken. And you can't get, these days after COVID, you cannot even get an appointment with any kind of a therapist, psychiatrist, psychologist. They are in short supply. And because of COVID and, job issues and money shortages and collapse, actually, economical collapse and societal collapse, we just do not have, access to the answers, and we never will. The world was always bad. And, I'm sure this family and many families are religious, and they subscribe to a religion, and so they can turn to their Bible and see that life was never, never good. Droughts, famine, murder, rape, slavery, torment. Consider Job's life, and consider the first family of the Bible. The jealousy of one sibling over the other. And so there you go, sibling rivalry, all kinds of famines and misery are documented in the Bible. So if you're a biblical person and you subscribe to the belief that God wanted you to go forth and multiply, you're just really short-sighted. You need to take a look at the rest of that book, the good book. There's a lot of information in that book other than go forth and multiply. So Siena is in a much better place, which is far from this planet, this earth. And she will not be suffering anymore. And I would encourage parents to start promoting antinatalism and start promoting voluntary human extinction. So nobody has to suffer mental illness or addiction and death ever again. Thank you for watching.